In this class, we're going to go over questions on arithmetic progression. Okay, let's start with the first question. Find the common difference in the following AP. We have 6, 14, 22, and 30. 6, okay, solution. We have 6, 14, 22, and 30, then we have an infinity dot. Okay, now how do we find the common difference? You know, in our previous class I told you that the difference between the any two consecutive time or successive time in your AP, that will give the common difference, you understand? And I take time to explain what is meant by successive time, you understand? Okay, now how do we determine the common difference of this AP? All you have to do is that you just have to choose any two consecutive terms. You understand? The terms that follows each other. For example, if I'm going to choose 6, that means that the term that follows 6 is what? Is 14, which is the second term. See, just pay attention, okay? Look, this is the first term. I represent it as T1. This is the second term. You understand? This is the third term. And this is the fourth term, which is T4, okay? Now, to find the common difference, all you have to do is that choose any two successive or consecutive term. Are you paying attention? Now, if I'm going to choose the second term, that means that I must choose both second term or third term. Or I can choose both the first term or second term. Are you paying attention? So here, I'm going to be using the first term and second term. Are you paying attention? The difference between the second term and the first term will give me the common difference. So I can choose any of the term. All you have to do is that make sure that the term that you are choosing, the two terms that you are choosing, they are successive. Are you paying attention? So for this, I'm going to have something like D equals to T2 minus T1. Okay? So you can also do yours. Just take T4 and T3. Just take the difference. You are still going to arrive at the same answer, okay? I'm very sure if you are part of the previous class, you can do this. If you want to take the common difference, let us take T2 and T1. So I'm going to have D is equals to T2 minus T1. And you can as well take T3 and T2. You can take T4 and T3 as well. You understand? So just make sure that the term that you're going to be taking, the two terms must be consecutive. You understand? They must follow each other. Do you understand? So here I'm going to have T2 is 14. So I'm going to have 14 minus 6. Okay? 14 minus 6 is 8. You understand? So the common difference of the AP is 8. You can check with T3 and T2. If you take the difference between 22 and 14, T3 minus T2. If you take the difference, you are going to have 22 minus 14. 22 minus 14 is T8. You can see that. Just make sure that any term that you are going to be taking, that you are going to be choosing, they must be consecutive. You understand? They must follow each other, okay? So that is the solution to that question. Now let's proceed to the second question. The 16th term of an AP is 93. Given that its common difference is 6, find the first and the 28th term. Okay? Now, please kindly pay attention. We are given that the 16th term of an AP is 93. So the 16th term, that is T16. T16 is equals to 93. Okay? Now we are given that its common difference is 6. So D equals to 6. Okay? We are asked to find the first term. You understand? We are asked to find the first term. The first term is T1. And the first term is also the same thing as A. You understand? Don't forget, in our previous class I told you, I gave you the nth term, the formula for the nth term of an arithmetic progression. There I got something like this. Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1 multiplied by b. I'm very sure you remember this. Perhaps if you missed the previous class, make sure you check the playlist. You're going to see the class. Just make sure that you pay attention, okay? It's very simplified. Now, if T1 is equals to A, we've been given that T16, that is the 16th term, is 93. We can easily determine the value of A, are you paying attention, which is the first term. We cannot find the 28th term without knowing the first term. You understand? You know, we are as well asked to calculate the 28th term. Let me put it there. 28th term. T28. But we cannot know the value of the 28th term without knowing the value of a. So in an attempt to solve for the 28th term, we need to first determine the value of a. Now, how do we go about this? Remember that the nth term of an arithmetic progression is this. Now, we've been given that this the 16th term is 93. So I can proceed like this. The 16th term is equals to a plus 16 minus 1 multiplied by d. Okay? The 16th term is equals to a plus 17. 16 minus 1 is 15. So I'm going to have 15d. Now, 16th term is 93. So I'm going to substitute 93 equals to a plus, now, 15 multiplied by d. D is 6. So I'm going to have multiplied by 6 here. Now, we have arrived to a simplified version of this equation. You understand? So from this you can easily get the value of a. All you have to do is that just take the product of 15 and 6. 15 multiplied by 6 is 90. So I'm going to have 93 equals to a plus 90. So just collect the items. I'm going to have a 93 minus 90 equals to a. So a equals to 3. You understand? So the first term of this, the first term that we are asked to determine is 3. Now, having known the first term, we can easily determine the 28th term. The 28th term will be t28 equals to a plus 28 minus 1 multiplied by d. Okay? From this, we can just substitute the value of a and d. So 28th term is equals to a is 3. So I'm going to have 3 plus 27 multiplied by d. D is 6. So I'm going to have multiplied by 6. Here, I'm going to have the 28th term is equals to 3 plus. Now, 27 multiplied by 6. That will give us 162. So I'm going to have 3 plus 162. So the 28th term is equals to 162 plus 3. That is 165. So here I'm going to have 165. Hence, the 28th term of the AP is 165. So, and the first term is what? Is 3. So you can see that it is simple. All you have to do is just understand the basic concepts. Okay? Now, let me give you one more question. The 14th term of an AP is 96. Why the 25th term is 173? Find the 19th term, the sum of the 13th and the 56th term, and the product of the 6th and the 13th terms. Okay, you see, no matter how they twisted the question, provided that you understand the basic concepts, you'll be able to solve it. Okay, this one is a bit long, so I would like you to pay attention. So let's solve. Okay, solution. Okay, so how do we solve the question? Let's start by writing out the information that we're given. Okay, the 14th term of an AP is 96. So we're given that the 14th term is equals to 96. Okay, and the 25th term is 173. The 25th term. The 25th term is equals to 173. We are asked to find the 19th term. Okay. We are asked to find the 19th term. We are also asked to find the sum of the 13th term and the 56th term. The sum of the 13th term and the 56th term. Okay? Now the third question, the product of the 6th term and the 13th term. The product of the 6th term and the 13th term. Okay? You see, you cannot solve any of these questions without knowing the value of our A and D. You understand? Without knowing the common difference and the first term, we cannot solve the question. So the first step is that we have to determine the common difference and the first term. Do you understand? Okay? Now, don't forget that the nth term of an arithmetic progression is given by this formula. Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. Okay? Now, we've been given that the 14th and the 25th term is 96 and 173 respectively. So, that means that I can replace T14. The 14th term is equals to A plus 14 minus 1 multiplied by D. Okay? that means I'm going to have the 14th term is equals to a plus 14 minus 1 is 13. So I'm going to have 13 times d, that is 13d. Okay? Now, that means I'm going to have, since I know that the 14th term is 96, so I'm going to have 96 is equals to a plus 13d. Okay? So call that one equation 1. Call this equation 1. Now, let's proceed to the second. We need to derive the second equation from the 25th term. You understand? We've been given that the 25th term is equals to 173. So I'm going to have a plus 25 minus 1 multiplied by d. Okay? The 25th term is equals to a plus 24d. Okay? So since we've been given in the question that the 25th term is 173, so I'm going to have 173 is equals to a plus 24d. Okay? So call the second equation equation 2. Do you understand? Now, we have two equations with two unknown. So we need to solve this equation simultaneously. Do you understand? And to solve this equation, this equation simultaneously, you can either use any of the method that we learned in our classes on simultaneous equation. Either you can use elimination method or the substitution method. But in this case, I'm going to be using the substitution method. Do you understand? So let's combine both equations. Equation 1 is a plus 13d equals to 96. Equation 2 is a plus 24d equals to 173. Now, the first step to solve this equation simultaneously, the first step is that you have to make one of the unknown the subject of the relation in any of the equation. Okay? You know, we are having two equations now. The first step in solving this equation simultaneously is that using the substitution method now. Okay? The first step is that just make one of the unknown the subject of the relation. In both equations, we are having two unknown. The first unknown is A and the second is D. You understand? So I'm going to make one of the unknown the subject of the relation. You can choose any of the unknown, but for the simplicity of the solution, I'm going to choose A. You understand? I'm going to make A the subject of the relation in equation 1. So I'm going to have from equation 1 A plus 13D equals to 96. So A equals to 96 minus 13D. You understand? Because if 13D crosses the equals to sign to the right hand side of the equation, the positive sign is going to change to negative. You understand? So, no. This is 13D, not 136. Okay? just pay attention. You're going to understand. Now, having made one of the unknown the subject of the relation in equation 1, I'm going to substitute that value into equation 2. Okay? So substitute the value into equation 2. So equation 2 is what? A plus 24d equals to 173. Now A is 96 minus 13d. So I'm going to have, this is equation 2, don't forget. So if I substitute A as 96 minus 13d, I'm going to have 96 minus 13d plus 24d equals to 173. You understand? Do you know what I did here? I just replaced the value of A as the I replaced this value of A as 96 minus 13d. You understand? So I have 96 minus 13d plus 24d is equals to 173. You see, let me tell you, the secret to understanding this concept, this especially mathematics, is to understand the concept that you've learned earlier. Are you paying attention? So if you missed the class on simultaneous linear equation, I advise you to go back and listen and watch the class. Okay? So you will find the playlist on this channel. Okay? Just listen and watch the class. You understand? If you have any question, you can let me know in the comment section. Okay? So now the next step is that we need to determine the value of D. Okay? To get the value of D, we have to collect like terms. Okay? So I'm going to have negative 13D positive 24D is equals to 173 minus 96. You know, if this 96 crosses the equals to sign to the right hand side of the equation, see, if this 96 is carrying a positive sign before, if it crosses the equals to sign to the right hand side of the equation, the positive sign is going to change to negative. You understand? So we are left with what? 173 minus 96. Okay, so let's deal with the left hand side of the equation. Negative 13D positive 24D. that is 13 minus okay, negative 13d, positive 24d, that is 11d. Okay, 11d is equals to 173 minus 96, that is 77. Okay, so 11d is equals to 77. So the next step is that you have to divide both sides by 11. So I'm going to have this divided by 11, this divided by 11. Okay, so from this point I can get the value of d. The value of d is equals to 77 divided by 11. That is that is 7. Okay, so the value of d is 7. Now, having gotten the value of d, we need the value of a as well. You understand? Because hope you know that we have not started the solution to any of the questions that we are asked to solve. We are asked to find the 19th term, but we cannot determine any of this without knowing our value of a and d. You understand? So the first step is that you need to determine the value of d, and we are done with d. So you need to determine the value of a as well. Okay? To get the value of a, all you need to do is that just substitute the value of d into any of these equation 1 or equation 2. Substitute the value of d into any of these equations to get the value of d, to get the value of a. So using equation 1, equation 1 is what? A plus 13d equals to 96. Now when d is equals to 7, you understand? A plus 13 multiplied by 7 is equals to 96. Okay? Now a 13 multiplied by 7, that will give us 91. Okay? So I'm going to have a plus 91 is equals to 96. Okay, so a equals to 96 minus 91. A is equals to 5. Okay, so the value of a and d, the value of a is equals to 5 and d is equals to 7. Okay, so having gotten the value of a and d, we can easily determine the value of the 19th term, which is the first question. Okay, the 19th term will be equals to a plus 19 minus 1 multiplied by d, which is the 19th term is equals to a plus 18d. Okay, so the 19th term is equals to a is what? A is 5. So I'm going to have 5 plus 18 multiplied by d. D is 7. Okay, so the 19th term is equals to 5 plus 18 multiplied by 7. That is 126. So I'm going to have 126. The 19th term is equals to 5 plus 126, that is 131. Okay, so that is the 19th term. Now, having gotten the 19th term, we can easily determine the value of the 13th term and the 56th term. You understand? Okay, you know, we are asked to find the sum of the 13th and the 56th term, so we need to calculate them separately, then we sum them together. We first need to determine the 13th term, we need to determine the 56th term, then we are going to sum this term together. You understand? Okay, so this one will be 1. For 2, the 13th term is T13 is equals to a plus 13 minus 1 multiplied by d. That will be the 13th term is equals to a plus that is 12d. The 13th term will be equals to a plus 12 multiplied by d. D is 6. Okay, d is 7. So I'm going to have the 13th term is equals to a. A is 5. So I'm going to have 5 plus 12 multiplied by 7. That is 84. So I'm going to have 5 plus 84. Okay. So the 13th term is equals to 89. Okay. Now we need to determine the 56th term as well. Okay. The 56th term will be T56. So I'm going to have a plus 56 minus 1 multiplied by d. So I'm going to have here a is 5. So I'm going to have 5 plus 56 minus 1, that is 55. So I'm going to have 55 multiplied by d. D is what? D is 7. So I'm going to have multiplied by 7. Okay. So the 56th term, this is 56. So okay, this one that you see here is 56. So I'm going to have 5 plus 55 multiplied by 7. That is 385. So I'm going to have plus 385. So the 56th term is equals to 5 plus 385. That is 390. Now, the sum of the 13th term and the 56th term will be equals to, the 13th term is 89, so I'm going to have 89 plus 56, that is 390. So 89 plus 390, that will be 479, okay? 479. So here I'm going to have 479. That is the answer to the second question, okay? Now, we are asked to calculate the product of the 6th term and the 13th term. How do we go about it? All we have to do is that calculate the 6th term separately, then you calculate the 13th term separately. When you are done, then you take the product. We have already gotten the 13th term. The 13th term is 89. So all we need now is the 6th term. You understand? So I'm going to erase this. Okay? Now, the 6th term, this 6 is equals to a plus 6 minus 1 multiplied by d. Okay? So the 6th term is equals to a is 5 plus 5d. Okay? So the 6th term is equals to 5 plus 5 multiplied by d. D is 7, so I'm going to have to multiply by 7. So the 6th term is equals to 5 times 7 is 35. Okay? 35 plus 5 is 40. 5 plus 35. So the 6th term is equals to 40. You understand? Now, the product, the product of the 6th term multiplied by the 13th term will be equals to, please pay attention, the 6th term is 40, so I'm going to have 40 multiplied by the 13th term is what? Is 89. So 40 multiplied by 89, that is 3,560. 3,560. Okay, so you can see how I simplified the question. Okay, so understanding the basic concept is very crucial in solving complex questions. Are you paying attention? If you don't understand the basic concept, you won't be able to solve question, particularly when it comes to calculating subjects such as mathematics. Okay, so I beseech you, if you missed the previous class, go back and watch it. You understand? It's still available. Go back and watch those classes. You understand? So that is the solution to that question. This will be all for this class. If you have any question, let me know, okay, in the comment section. Okay, and before you go, make sure you like and share the video. See you in the next class.